All right, let's dive into this one, shall we? So this is a blue-white control deck that's doing some quirky things. So our main quirk here is we've got Narset, Part of the Veils, which in addition to impulsing, she prevents opponents from drawing cards, extra cards. And then we marry this to Days Undoing here, which says each player shuffles their hand into their graveyard, shuffle their hand and graveyards into their library, and then draws 7 cards. So basically, if you go Narset into Days Undoing, your opponent loses their hand and gets 1 card back, and you get a full 7, which is sweet. We have like what are typical blue-white control tools in this format really haven't been defined. As the format matures more and we settle from bans, it'll like vary a little bit from time to time. So we've got some Supreme Verdicts. We've got some Censors, which is a counter spell that also cycles to draw a card. We've got some Syncopates, we got some Time Ravelers, we got some Deck and Stone. So I'm interested to see if the tools we have are appropriate enough for controlling the board. Notably, this doesn't impact the board, and this doesn't really impact the board in a permanent way. So we'll see. I would not be surprised if there's some getting run over in our future. $1 million question, is wife jealous you get to work fully from home? To a degree, but like, so like while I don't have to leave the house for my job, most of a big chunk of my job requires me to be like actively engaged, right? So like I can't watch Twitch streams while I do most of my work, right? And like, as someone who worked as like an analyst at a big company, like I'm sure many of you watching right now are analysts, like, you get to like dick around and like eat lunch when you want and stuff like that, right? There's downtime at your job. I'm working right now, yep. All right, this hand needs some lands, but we got plenty of options to check out here. I got this data entry gig, so thanks for playing spreadsheets today. Am analyst can confirm. Awkward that this isn't an island. So this would come into play tap, so I can't double up this turn, but we'll have it untap 3rd land for next turn, which is great. When I work from home, I actually ended up spending more money because I felt compelled to leave the house. It's actually funny. My youngest son, Declan, I leave the house so little because I work from home. He just assumes when I say I'm leaving the house, he goes, oh, you're going to the gym? Because that's basically the only thing I leave the house for. The gym or takeout. Yeah, not just Chipotle. I'm Christie's version of Uber Eats. Significant Others, the original Uber Eats. Play a 4-mana spell. Play a 4-mana spell. Shh. Shh. You know, someone actually just left a comment on my Grixis Control YouTube video asking about Chandra Torch of Defiance in that archetype, and I actually think that seems incredibly sweet. Like, the Grixis Control deck we played was like a tap-out discard-based Grixis Control deck. So, like, having this as your card advantage in a tap-out style deck seems really good. It seems worth exploring. How do you feel about Mediterranean food? I don't think I've ever had that. Yeah, I think, and we've talked about this before, right? I think Chandra Torch of Defiance is the second best Planeswalker in this format after Oko. Your censorship of Hooglandia has gone too far. Respect! Respect me! Deal. Huh? So do I dig now while they're tapped out? They're probably not going to play into Censor next turn anyways, right? The chance of the Censor being live is low. Wow, those are cards. Narset Teferi. Narset Teferi. Hey, Splatamazum. Thanks for the sub-gifties. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Maybe I'm supposed to play an island and cycle this. Are there goals I'm working on for my channel? Are we kind of good with the formula you've come up with? I said schmatoplasm. I don't... Schmap. There's a map. There's a map in there. Is that map? Mapatilism. Listen, all I'm going to say is if you're someone who has a username with multiple words in it and you don't camel case your username, you have no one to blame but yourself when people get it wrong. I don't really have any goals, Jin. Get some falafel. Sounds good. Oh, I have had falafel before. I didn't know that that counted as Mediterranean food. Yeah, falafel's great. 10. Oh. Oh. We can instant speed Days Undoing. That's sick. I didn't even think about that. Because Days Undoing ends the turn if it's your turn. That's awesome. Good morning, Boneless. I mean, Tef's just a good card. Yeah, now they know it's coming, unfortunately. That's fine. It'll be okay. Oh, and we can draw step it. Oh, there's a Wandering Fumarole in play. Why did I minus my Narset? Should not have minus my Narset. Mistakes were made. Let's draw another one. Yeah, we need to answer this. Our deck doesn't really have Chandra answers, does it? Listen, chat. If I wanted to play a game where I lost when I made mistakes, I'd play Mythgard. I came to this channel for the professionalism, I know. Yeah, Days Undoing is well templated. It only ends the turn if it's your turn. Oh, gosh. This empties their hand every turn too, right? So are they just dead? Right? Because the Geier reach says this says they can't draw, but then they discard, and Teferi says they can't. That's gross. No, oh yeah, you can upkeep it, then they don't get their draw step. Yeah, if you upkeep it, they literally never draw. That's sick. All right, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's definitely great. Deck might not be good. Definitely great. How do we actually win? Who cares? Who cares? We'll figure it out later. I don't know. That sounds, figuring out how we win the game when they don't concede sounds like a problem for future Jeff. This is the enemy of fun. This deck sounds super fun. What are you talking about? Yeah, there's a castle in the mana base, I guess. Oh, you know what? This Cyclonic Rift, you know what we should probably have? There should be Brazen Borrowers in this deck. That's what there should be in here. There should be Brazen Borrowers in this deck, because you can kick the card back to their hand and then wipe it out with the Days Undoing. I'm gonna trim Censors on the draw. They're less likely to play into them. Oh, maybe I want those. Maybe I want those Spell Pierces. I might want those Spell Pierces in my deck. I'm super excited. I like when the deck that we're playing gets to do its thing on the first game. So you don't have to leave people wondering like what are we trying to accomplish? You're like this was the goal. Yeah, and Brazen Borrower could be a win con. Like there's one Cyclonic Rift and like 2 Gideons. I'd probably swap those for Brazen Borrowers, I think. I'm saying only disappointment awaits by playing more matches with this. Yeah, our hand's great here. Well, I'm surprised they played into this after, I actually think Syncopate is super playable in this format, by the way. For, like, just talking about, like, in general. I love when Jeff discovers the interaction and submit a deck on the first game. It lights up like, his face lights up like a kid on Christmas Day. Listen, it's just exciting, okay? Can't help, I just love what I love. All right, kill Narset or lose your hand. Dealer's choice. Is the stream decker incorrect? Did I do it again? Oh, I totally forgot to update the stream decker. All right, they're done. They've had enough. All right, stream decker updating now. Thanks for the heads up. Yep, looks right. Sweet. Take my money. Thank you. I appreciate it. Percy, it's good to see you having fun playing Magic again after a miserable modern and 2 bad standards. I agree. Pioneer was the kicker I needed. Format's great. You're up to 1,100 people in here today. Thanks everybody for choosing to spend some of your day here. You could be watching Standard or Limited at the Mythic Championship right now, but instead you're here, so thanks for being here. Thanks for the sub gifties, Ortog. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Just as a heads up, because that's the second person to give subs today, I need to plug it some more, is that moving forward, I am no longer accepting sub gifts for bumping decks or adding them to the queue, just as an FYI. I don't get called Monoplasm at the Mythic Championship. I'm at both, fair. There is a lot of downtime at paper tournaments, although the Mythic Championships finally have time-shifted feature matches, right? Just gonna look for some lands here. Just be adapted into an approach shell. Maybe, I don't know that you really need approach with the prison finish that this has. All right, now that I've drawn running lands, I'm going to bottom that. Because I have these Teferis to cantrip here too. Earlier you said Mutavault was underplayed. Do you think it could work as another win con in this deck? It could, but I'm not sure that we really need another win con in this deck. Like, especially, I think Brazen Borrower would be a good addition as a utility card. So, like, with Brazen Borrower, I'm not sure that I really need another win con past that. Looks like Red Devotion here. They just played Frostburn weird. So we could get Goblin Chain Whirler this turn. Hey, Scuffles, thanks for re-upping that Prime for the second month. Welcome back. This was a standard staple in both blue and red Devotion. Just a kind of okay card. Unlurking real quick to say thank you for all the content while I do Destiny 2 things. Thanks for keeping me around, Bear Grinds Games. Appropriate name to say you're currently grinding a game. I splashed green into the mono black vampires for once upon a time, and it made the mana better. What a joke of a card. Yeah. I think I'm actually just going to play this other Teferi out here and bounce their thing again. I'd assume they're playing weird in addition to Ash Zealot. I agree with you. It depends on like what their deck looks like too. Like maybe they're a more defensive red Devotion deck. Because like Ash Zealot basically has one mode. This card's kind of sweet. It makes a treasure token so it ramps you up. Yeah, Banefire is legal in this format. I'm one card short of digging here, unfortunately. This attack seems loose. Maybe they missed the castle. Like, getting to take their Devotion off the table here and making their Nykthos markedly worse seems really good when they're missing land drops. Yeah, that attack seems pretty bad. Maybe they just wanted to get me to tap out. That's fair. Torch of Defiance is real good. It's a sweet Torch of Defiance artwork. Yeah, I think that attack was just them wanting me to tap out, which is a fair takeaway, I think. Narset. Yeah, I agree, Coda Chris. And I've said this a couple of times on stream, but I really hope that this is the format where I get to cast Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is just a fun card to cast. Really hope it gets to live in eternity here. Please play more creatures that I can Supreme Verdict. Thanks. Yeah, having more copies of Brazen Borrower would be good, because then I could like send things like Planeswalkers back to their hand, which would be ideal. Come on, more creatures, please. Wow, they have a ton of mana. Hopefully it's just more creatures. Sure. Play Mogius, whatever his name is. This is moments before the accident, chat. Moments before the accident. Bye, friends. Thanks for the 17 months, Wee McGee. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just keeping me around. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this. Let's get an extra card in my bin for the Dig Through Time. Looking for an Narset. I think I care about the Nykthos at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and dig here. I love the theme of Dig Through Time. Dismiss the things you regret in the past to look for deeper answers in the future. That's kind of deep. That is kind of what it does, huh? Alright, so I already have Geier Reach. I think I take Veto here. Actually, I'd probably take Syncopate here. I'm going to take Syncopate plus Narset. And then we might be able to beat Chandra Emblem by locking them out of drawing cards, right? I just need to get the board clear this turn. And then, yeah, even if they Chandra Emblem, they're not going to have anything to do, right? Because I'm going to go Narset, Days Undoing, you lose your hand next turn. And then the Sanitarium here. Huh. This is, I'm not going to lie. I had, like, really low expectations going into this. And it feels like there's something here. I don't think it's nuts, but I feel like there's definitely something worth exploring here. The concession was a little weird. Little spooky. Little spooky. I mean, a combo kill in our control deck that doesn't cost 7 seems nice. Yeah, and like all of our combo cards are like relatively playable. Which seems sweet. Trim a Censor on the draw. Yeah, but like, they had a Chandra getting ready to emblem. This is a cool example of what you're talking about last week. A lot of decks are powered up standard archetypes, and there may be some real unique monsters lurking in there waiting to be found. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the 16 months, Desi Red Shoes. I think there should be 4 verdicts in the deck. I think a lot of the details here are probably too cute. I think Brazen Borrower sounds excellent, because that card's just really good. Brazen Borrower, like, not only provides a little bit of tempo to, like, get us to last to our combo lock, but it also can pressure planeswalkers by attacking, which is nice. Yeah, and I mean, even Days Undoing is kind of okay when you have Teferi, because, like, if you Days Undoing on their end step, you don't lose your turn, right? Yeah, Teferi makes Deck and Stone instant speed as well, which is great. Comparing Brazen Borrower to Once Upon a Time does a disservice to why Once Upon a Time is powerful. I'm going to keep my guaranteed 4th land. The last Rhino Corn. Thank you for the Brandy Prime support. Welcome to Hoglandia. Hope you're having an excellent Friday wherever you are in the world. I'm going to go ahead and censor this. I know I have the Supreme Verdict, but I think I'd prefer to just like keep my health total a little bit high here. So, for those that aren't familiar with Magic Online, we're currently locked into this league with this deck list that we've submitted. But after we play through, and I can develop some more opinions after playing some more matches, when we wrap up with the deck, I will go through and make changes that I would like to see in the deck. And the final deck list on my stream deck right under the YouTube video will be the updated list. There's a reason Monastery Mentor doesn't show up in any Pioneer list. Yeah, because it's a 3-mana creature that dies to Wild Slash. I think I just need to clean the board here. If they like dragging me next turn, I can Deck and Stone it. Super punished. Old school Sarkin. This one down ticks to deal damage to a creature. That's pretty good. This deck does not have enough answers to Planeswalkers in it. Brazen Borrower would help with that by pressuring them in addition to tempoing them a little bit. You get an emblem with Beginning of your end step, draw 2 additional. Maybe your draw step, draw 2 additional cards. At the end of your turn, discard your hand. Sweet. Yeah, Brazen Borrower bounces target non-land permanent you don't control. I don't think Deathrite Shaman is very good in this format. We're probably dead here. They have 5 on board and we're at 7. Yeah, definitely not enough answers to Planeswalkers. The unique Pioneer deck subjects, did you see Teamer Splendid Reclamation? I did. It looks super sweet, Baron. Thanks for the third of the year. Welcome back. Oh, I fully expect to go 2-3 or 3-2 with this deck. While the core lock idea seems great, the numbers on the answers in this deck are all over the place and bad. Blessed Alliance. I guess that's okay. Maybe I want these Spell Pierces. I don't know what else I want to cut here. The old 61, let's do it. You like Needle? We do have a Needle on the board. Yeah, that could be okay. It's a soft answer to Planeswalkers, even if it leaves them Devotion. Blessed Alliance is a decent answer to Soul Flare. We also have Detention Sphere if it doesn't have Hexproof. Settle the Wreckage is a good answer to Soul Flare. Got a couple Rest in Peace in the sideboard. This deck as constructed is a very reasonable Soul Flare matchup. Banishing Light is worse Detention Sphere. Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna hold on to this Censor for now. They might like Jamachandra next turn. You know, with the Sphere in my hand, I'm just gonna play this and down ticket here. Thoughts on Green Black and Pioneer? There's been a number of Green Black decks in the deck list dumps. I think it's a good place to start if you're looking to play that archetype. I think it's probably pretty reasonable here. How'd Soul Flare go yesterday? The build that we played had a lot of the details very wrong. Is Cast Out too slow? I don't think so. We played Cast Out in Blue-White approach and I was super happy with it. So the awkward part here is that, so I'm gonna cast the Days Undoing, but like there's so few Planeswalker answers in my deck that it almost feels wrong to. Like I could very reasonably just lose to this Chandra, never finding another answer the way this deck is currently constructed. So this puts us to 7 cards, them down to 1 card. They still have Chandra here, obviously, though. The modern set was actually very reasonable. We went 4-1 with Bant Eldrazi. And the one match we lost was when I conceded because it was a bad matchup. I get to look at a lot of cards here, but we could definitely just die to this Chandra. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Percy. Like I said, those are all things we talked about yesterday. Because I think that archetype's very reasonable. I think I just have to bottom anything that's not an answer to this. So I have like one Cyclonic Rift in my deck. Okay. The problem here is they get to replay this next turn and then just get her upticking again. I think that downside is fine. Just like immediately under the gun again. Land's actually a pretty good draw. Do I shock and then Narset? I think so. Maybe I'm just supposed to hold up a counterspell here, though. Perfect. So I need to fade. I have like 3 shots at action here. I might be right to wait on this just so I could like stroke, veto, or syncopate whatever they do this turn. For people wondering why I timed this the way I did, she was going to ult when I bounced her, so that's why we timed it the way we did. They have a dragon. They have a Sarkin. Yeah. Yep. And we're just gonna die because our deck's just not built well. I think being this super counterspell based control deck is like pretty bad in this format. And like we're getting thoroughly punished for being such. Like, I literally just don't have another answer in my deck, right? I have a Settle the Wreckage. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right, Bob. I could have won that game by playing better, but I think it doesn't, like, again, the result of this game doesn't change my opinion that the deck's built incorrectly. Like, I'm not basing my opinion on, like, this deck needs different tools based on, like, this specific game. Counterspells aren't good in this format. For the most part, it feels like. Would much rather play cards that play to the board. I think the prison element, we played a land the turn we played dig. I think the Teferi Time Raveler Narset Days Undoing seems really sweet, but like trying to play a game on the stack seems awful. Yeah, even just Geier Reach plus Narset also seems great. I agree. They're playing Phoenix. Sick. You know, I don't know that we're gonna play all the matches in this set. I might just play. If we lose this one, I might call it a day and go to the next deck. Cause like, I really, this is the part that sucks about Moto. Like, once I know like what I want to do in my wrap-up section, like my desire to play a deck, like just drops off a cliff. Like I play Magic because I want to like learn things and like tune and change, and like once I'm like done tuning, it's just like, all right, well I just would like to iterate now. I think Censor's actually great just because it fuels your digs and it replaces itself when it's not a good counterspell. So we're going to 10 here. Might have been right to deck and stone this. I don't know. Holding this for Phoenixes seems appealing. I'm going to 10, but like I can Supreme Verdict this now. I don't know. To be fair, even if we had a ladder punch-worthy, like the process through which you have to acquire new cards on Magic Online also makes tuning decks not ideal. Like even if I had like dig through time, okay, that makes our Narsets worse. Yeah, I think Cast Out's great. Cast Out's a card we had in the blue-white approach deck. I don't know. Do we have an excellent Phoenix matchup? I'd like to kind of see it play out. Like, it's not just as simple as, like, cast Narset and they lose, right? And, like, Magic can happen like this. I bought him Days Undoing, and then we literally haven't drawn a non-land in 5 turns. Yeah, they can also take Narset off the table. They might not be a Phoenix deck. They could be doing something else with Dig Through Time. They could like be a Drake. Yep. That happened. So that just happened. Veto seems bad here. Cyclonic Rift seems fine. These random Gideons in here are like, what are these doing? Don't quite get those. The rest of this seems fine. Spell Pierce in my pseudo control deck is weird. They cast Maximize Velocity, which gave their Drake +1/+1 and haste. Oh, Lyra's a good suggestion. Yeah, 10 out of 10 want a Lyra in my deck. Good call. They might have Fry in their sideboard for killing Narset. I don't have anything witty or clever to say, so I'll just say screw standard. Thanks for the content. Thanks for keeping me around. You're not the only one with that sentiment. Pretty much everybody is dropping standard like a bag of bricks. Howdy, Paper Skate. This is definitely a play Narset on 3 and don't down ticker matchup. I think if they pass here, I just play... I'm gonna lean on Teferi. I think any of these three will get Is It Charmed if I play them out, and I think I care about this one getting Is It Charmed the least. Yeah, I don't think you're alone in that, Wilder. I don't know. They said if the U.S. adopted a 4-day work week, would that affect your schedule anyway? I don't think the U.S. as a whole would ever implement anything like that, so I don't really have to think about it. And even if it did, it wouldn't apply to independent contractors like me, so... Why did I do that? I should have just cast my Narset. We got lucky, though. I should have just cast Narset there. We're supposed to be getting Historic as a ranked format in December. And I'm looking forward to them pushing that back and telling us they can't get it done. Sure. Fair. I don't know. There's no reason why Historic can't also be sweet. Like, there's no upper limit to how many different formats we can get. Like, the problem is that it's not supported. It's not that it's not Pioneer. The problem is that there's no support. That's the issue. All right, Young Pyromancer, eh? Hey, look, it's another one of those Planeswalker things I can never get rid of. I honestly feel like I've been gamed by WotC. I would not have put money into Arena if I knew my stuff was going to be useless after rotation. I feel like Historic's going to be a cop-out answer to the problem that won't be moderated well. I'm glad to be wrong. Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable. Yeah, there's no reason why there can't be Mythic championships that are Historic and all these other things. The only thing stopping that from happening is Wizards. Yeah, I guess this just happens. Again, reasonable people should not be asking for Pioneer to be added to Arena. Reasonable people should be asking why we can't also have a supported Historic format. That's what reasonable people should be asking Wizards about right now. MTGO needed more love? Yeah, I guess. That's definitely what it feels like. I don't think that's fair, Click. Because, like, the people who, like, are making the goofy mystery stuff, those aren't the same people that are, like, making formats. Or, like, that are, like, programming Arena, making Arena decisions. Like, those are different parts of the company. So I think saying, why did you do this other thing instead of this thing here, like, I think that shows a little bit of a misunderstanding of how this works. Looking at the original announcement for Historic, they said they were going to add cards to Historic, and then the Pioneer announcement makes me think their goal was to backcode big cards from Pioneer into Historic to make Historic Pioneer light, but customer outrage made them stop. I don't know. Yeah, it's impossible to know. Yeah, if they have another Fry here, we're super dead. If they don't have a Fry, this Lyra can take over the game. Have a good one, Jin. Catch you on Monday. I do have 3 Supreme Verdicts in my deck that can catch us back up from this board if they fry us, so we've got that going for us. Yeah, so I'd be surprised if they have Lightning Axe, because it doesn't look like they're playing the Phoenix build. They're playing a Crackling Drake configuration. I would play Cast Out and Brazen Borrower in this deck. I think Cast Out's a great tool in these blue-white decks. Well, we'll talk at the end about how I would go about retooling the deck here. Verdict. All right. We live to swim another day. Goodbye, friends. Yeah, part of the problem is that part of the problem is that Historic isn't being created, curated, or managed by the people that design the cards. The fact that they're taking Historic and divorcing it completely from the rest of Magic is a management decision, and they could change that. I mean, to be completely fair, they messed up Arena long before it was actually released. Eight mana dig, yep. We're looking for a Teferi here, so we can draw step Days Undoing them. So that happened. And then we drew another land. That's sick. Go. Let's see if we can get our $5 back, but yeah, maybe I was supposed to Days Undoing there and just take them to 1 card, because like they did just dig, right? So if I Days Undoing, it puts them down to 1 random card instead of like the 2 best out of their top 7. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna be done with this deck. Let's talk about what I would change and why. I'm off it. The details are wrong enough in this deck that I'm just not having fun. So let's fix it. Let's potentially fix it and talk about it from there. So these Planeswalkers are silly. Settle the Wreckage is probably a fine sideboard card. D-Sphere 2. Cyclonic Rift, Veto, Azorius Charm. These things seem unnecessary. Brazen Borrower sounds excellent. I think I would play at least 3 copies of that. I think I want 2 to 3 copies of Cast Out. This is a flash card that exiles any non-land permanent. Really clean answer to Planeswalkers here. I think I want the 4th Supreme Verdict. I don't know what it is with control players that like make them put a bunch of awkward one-ofs in their deck, but like you're allowed to play 4 of your good cards. So, like play 4 verdicts, play 4 of these. I don't know if this Teferi Hero of Dominaria is good enough. Yeah, maybe Fae of Wishes is good here. Fae of Wishes was really impressive in... Fae of Wishes was impressive in the approach deck. And, like, we could put the 3rd Days Undoing in the sideboard. I could see that being good too. Like I've said, there's a lot of different directions you can take a deck like this in. think a fundamental issue with what this deck was doing as built was we just didn't have enough answers to planeswalkers. There's a lot of planeswalkers in this format. Big Tef as an answer to problem permanence is so slow and clunky. It's a really clunky answer to that. I don't think I want to put my Narset in the sideboard. I think I want all of that. It's also possible that Fae is wrong because Narset can't find Fae. Yeah, that's probably the case. I think Fae is wrong because Narset can't find Fae. I think Last Breath is super playable. So I think if we were to try this again, I would try something like this. Again, with the idea being that Narset here stops your opponents from drawing extra cards. Days Undoing with Narset puts them down to 1 card on your turn, or with Teferi, you can draw step the Days Undoing to like wipe their hand out. And then when you have Narset in play, if you have Geier Reach Sanitarium, if you activate this during your opponent's upkeep, they don't get to draw cards anymore. Because if their hand's empty, you make them draw a discard, they have to discard what they draw, and then their draw step doesn't happen. I agree. I don't think you want too many adventure cards too, because not only does it not fuel Dig, I don't think that's too important, but you can't find them with Narset too. Yeah, Censor countered a number of things, and I also think that Censor is just good because it cycles. So I think I would try something like this, and just like comparing what this looks like to the other build that we just played. If you just like look at how many 4-ofs there are in this deck compared to the previous iteration, like that alone changes the metric a whole lot. I probably want some more. Spell Queller's probably fine on the sideboard. Yeah, this is, as far as like weird prison style deck, this is definitely the best of that style that I've played in this format. So I'm going to go ahead and export. There's a white castle right there. We have one of those. How you win the game once you stop them from drawing cards is like, dealer's choice. All right, so this version is on the Stream Decker for anybody that wants to try making their opponent's lives a little bit miserable with this. Yeah, I would definitely play this again. I think the core of what this deck was doing felt really sweet, and playing it with better answers would be nice. We definitely felt awkward playing medium answers. Might reconsider some of the counter spells in the sideboard, but I think this, as far as main deck is concerned, is where I'd want to be in life. I was really impressed with how between Supreme Verdict to clear the board and then getting the lock set up felt reasonably consistent. Draft is such a miserable format, just lost some with Brazen Borrower and Henge. Yay, limited. All right. This is a deck idea I worked on last night. We're going to do a quick ad roll here. And then when we get back, we're gonna play some games.